The African Union chairperson, Musa Faki Mahamat, has paid a visit to Ethiopian Airlines, the Pan African airline, and the CEO of Ethiopian Airlines, Ato Mesfin Tasso, has a message that he shared on the Twitter, or formerly Twitter, now X. This is the message that Ethiopian Airlines has shared, and I'm gonna read it in a minute for you. So this is what they have to say. We had the honor of welcoming His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, the African Union Commission chairperson at Ethiopian state-of-the-art facility today. His Excellency's visit also incorporated discussion with our group CEO, who is Ato Mesfin Tasso, and other executive management members. Now, this really brings an excitement for me. I mean, for personally, this is really personal for me, and it makes me emotional. Hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent. Now, we have been talking about Ethiopian Airlines with related to the Air Nigeria and the cancellations are shared. But now this is really why I have been saying Ethiopian Airlines is a Pan-African airline. It's really symbolic for the AU chairperson to pay the visit. I'm not sure I don't think it's his first time, but to visit the state-of-the-art facility of the airlines, that is his first time. Now, as you can see, let me just share it with you again. He has taken some pictures there with the trainees and with the staff of Ethiopian Airlines and the state of the art here. Look at him, that's Faki Mahamat Musa. And these are, some officials from the AU chairperson, from the African Union office. And also these are trainees from the African, different parts of Africa. I don't know if you can make it. Yeah, this is it. I can make it bigger. Look at it. Yeah, so these are different trainees from the African for African trainees, and you can see that why we say this is a Pan-African airline. Now, let me just go ahead and talk about why Ethiopian Airlines. I'm going to take this opportunity really to talk about Ethiopian Airlines is a Pan-African airline. Now, before that, the CEO has said, this is in quotation, "We are proud," meaning Ethiopian Airlines, "to remain committed to our core values, playing the role of facilitating the great African vision." This is stated by stated by the CEO of Ethiopian Airlines. Now, as you know, Ethiopian Airlines is the most successful airline, and it not only in Africa, but it is also globally the most successful airline. It's a pride of Africa. It has been taking that reward from year to year as the best African airline, and not only it's because of its service and commercial wise, but its principles. And when they, the CEO says core values are really to Pan-Africanism. Now, they take also a pride, the CEO say, transporting the great fathers, the founding members of the Organization of the African Unity at that time when they came to Ethiopia in Addis Ababa to establish the Organization of the African Unity. And it was Ethiopian Airlines that transported them, because Ethiopian Airlines was established in 1945, but started operation in 1946. And its international flights started actually in 1951. So that was way before the establishment of the Organization of the African Unity. Now, let me go ahead and take this opportunity why I say Ethiopian Airlines is the Pan-African airline. First of all, it takes that pride for being the hub of African aviation. Ethiopia is not only the administration, the capital of the administration of Africa, having that the African Union in its capital, but also Ethiopia is the capital of the aviation for Africa, as Ethiopian Airlines is the hub of African the aviation in Africa. It connects Africa to the rest of the world. Also, it's a Pan-African airline. It has a share in about 5 African airlines, that being Chad, Malawi, Togo, Zambia, Mozambique, and it also strives to do, to have more share in other African airlines, not only for the business purpose. Actually, the airline, Ethiopian Airlines, steps in those African countries and buy a share in the spirit of saving those airlines from going bankruptcy and bringing it to a profit-making one. And the experience of these 5 African airlines is what it tells us is the same thing, that now they have been, successful and well equipped airlines when the Ethiopian Airlines stepped in and bought a share. So as a reason why we say that Ethiopian Airlines is a Pan-African, it has put actually Africa on the global map, that for many people who are outside of the continent and who want us to connect to the continent, it has facilitated that connection with Africa. So not only Africans to the rest of the world, but the rest of the world also to be connected to Africa. Now, Ethiopian Airlines is just only 78 years young. Okay, in all these years, it has more than 135 international destinations, and out of it is 63 African cities. Ethiopian Airlines has done a tremendous job during the Corona time, when the global airline business has been shut down. It has taken a risk and transported those vaccines, those who need it in Africa, while the rest of the world were able, the West was able to manufacture and to transport it. It's easier. For example, Europe can use its train, and the same for the US also, they produce it, so no problem. But for Africa it was actually a time when Africa was once again kind of proved for itself. It's just by its own now. So it was the Ethiopian Airlines that took a step and a risk and brought those vaccines and delivered to each and every African country those who needed it. Okay, so in that way, it was actually the savior of the continent. It has done a tremendous job, and that did not only limited to Africa. Actually, it has done it all the way to Brazil and others who did not have that airline business during the Corona time, that they have shut down. So it was bringing those vaccines from China and other countries to the rest of the world. Now, one more reason also for Ethiopian Airlines why I say it's a Pan-African Airlines is, it has this full-fledged academy that where it trains its own pilots, stewardess, and ground technicians. So it's not only Ethiopians that are trained there, but also other trainees that come from other parts of Africa are training there. Not only training, also Ethiopian Airlines hires them under Ethiopian Airlines, and for those who need it, or otherwise they go and they will be hired by their own airlines. But Ethiopian Airlines also hires these trainees that it trained because in terms of achieving that goal of connecting more its own passengers will be more easier, and it gives opportunity. And also it's beyond the name. The name might be Ethiopian Airlines, but what it does is it's a Pan-African airline, so it kind of fulfill for the airlines to hire African pilots or stewardess, so that is something very symbolic. What I say when that Faki Mahamat took that picture, with all those kinds of different flags, as you have seen at the Ethiopian Airlines there. Now, one important thing, you all may be familiar with the Agenda 2063. So now in that, there are flagship projects, which are the Inga Dam, building the Pan-African University, and many things. And one of them is actually to have a free movement of people, and to have the one passport. And one of them from out of these 10 flagship projects of Agenda 2063 is the establishment of a single African air transport market. So in that flagship project, it aims to deliver a single African air transport market to facilitate air transportation in Africa. And it was Ethiopian Airlines again who came up on the front on being on board, who signed this agreement before anyone else. But there are 23 countries in the continent are in this, but Ethiopian Airlines has taken, an exemplar leadership by signing this first. Also, actually, maybe a year ago or something, the CEO has made a call to African Airlines to lower the price of their tickets so that they can make it easier for Africans to travel, because there is more and more need of traveling by air from African people. So it took a step and kind of sensitized other African airlines. You really have to ease that and start to also, for it to be more accessible for African people to be able to fly. So now the objectives of this, the African single African air transport, is first of all, it's to commemorate the establishment and launching of the market, marking a notable milestone since the adoption of the decisions that was taken in 1999, that was in Cote d'Ivoire. And then secondly, to gain insight into the exciting launch of from all stakeholders, and then to enhance publicity and global exposure on the establishment of the single African air transport market, which is a flagship project of Agenda 2063. So for all this reason, I say Ethiopian Airlines is a Pan-African airline. And we all take as an African, not because I'm an Ethiopian, but as an African, I really take pride on Ethiopian Airlines and with all what they're doing. So I really want to congratulate Ethiopian Airlines with all its staff for representing not only Ethiopia, but Africa in the face of the world. Thank you very much again for tuning in. We will see you on the next one as well, where we analyze what happened to President Trump. So tune in. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give it a like if you think what we bring you is informative enough and relevant, and share the video with others. If you want to help us further, please go ahead and donate to our PayPal account. You can find it in the description section. But we all are really grateful for what you are doing. Thank you very much, Greta Woodson, Sylvia, and Leuseto, and others. Really, thank you so much for your support. We appreciate of what you are doing, and we don't take it for granted. You guys keep us going. You're a reason for us to be here, really. So I'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned. It's at the usual time. We will be here maybe 9:15, okay, of the Central European time, but Ghana time will be 7:15. So bye, and I will see you on the next one. So Yorubaland Hybrid Motors, Patricia Cox, Yorubaland, I know what you're going to say about Ethiopian Airlines. So yeah, Patricia Cox, yeah, also greetings to everyone. Ciao.